Okay, guys. So listen. I know my last video, whatever. We don't talk about it. It's just a little rant. Okay, it was just a little rant because I was feeling a little rantish, right? This is an audiobook channel. Audio Jungle. So we're gonna go back to reading some more Anna Karenina. Yes, guys. So yeah. Okay. It was like chapter 20, I think. I believe, okay. The whole day, okay, this is Anna Karenina, part 1, chapter 20. The whole of that day, Anna remained at home, that is, at the Oblonsky's house, and did not receive anybody, although several of her acquaintances who had heard of her arrival came to see her. She spent the earlier part of the day with Dolly and the children, and sent a note to her brother to be sure and come home to dinner. "Come," she wrote, "God is merciful." Oblonsky dined at home. The conversation was general, and his wife addressed him familiarly in the second person singular, which she had not done for all these days. There was still the same estrangement in their manner to each other, but no longer any question of separating, and Oblonsky saw that explanation and reconciliation were possible. Immediately after dinner, Kitty came. She knew Anna, but only slightly, and came to her sisters without fear of how she might be received by this Petersburg society woman, whom everybody admired so much. But she noticed at once that Anna liked her. It was evident that her beauty and youth gave Anna pleasure, and therefore Kitty had time to regain her self-possession. She felt not only that she was under Anna's influence, but that she was in love with her, as young girls often are with married women older than themselves. Anna was not like a society woman or the mother of an 8-year-old son. The flexibility of her figure, her freshness, and the natural animation of her face appearing now in her smile, now in her eyes, would have made her look more like a girl of 20 had it not been for a serious and sometimes even sad expression in her eyes, which struck Kitty and attracted her. Kitty felt that Anna was perfectly unaffected and was not trying to conceal anything, but that she lived in another higher world full of complex poetic interests beyond Kitty's reach. After dinner, when Dolly had gone to her own room, Anna got up quickly and went to her brother, who was just lighting a cigar. "Stiva," she said to him, with a merry twinkle in her eye, making the sign of the cross over him as she indicated the door with a look. "Go, and may God help you." He understood, threw down his cigar, and disappeared through the door. When Oblonsky had gone, she returned to the sofa where she had been sitting surrounded by the children. Whether because they saw that Mamma was fond of their aunt, or because they themselves felt her peculiar charm, first the 2 older children and then the younger ones, as is often the way with children, had even before dinner begun clinging to her, and now would not leave her side. And they started something like a game which consisted in trying to get as close to her as possible, to touch her, hold her little hand, kiss her, play with her ring, or at least touch the frills of her dress. "Now, how are we sitting before?" said Anna, resuming her seat, and Grisha again pushed his head under her arm and, leaning against her dress, beamed with pride and joy. "And when is the ball to be?" said Anna, turning to Kitty.
"Next week, and it will be a delightful ball, one of those balls which are always jolly."
"Are there any that are always jolly?" asked Anna with tender irony.
"It is strange, but there are. It's always jolly at the Brovashevs and also at the Nikitins, while it's always dull at the Meskovs. Haven't you noticed it?"
"No, my dear, there are no more jolly balls for me." Sorry, that's so immature. I'm immature. I'm sorry, again," said Anna, and Kitty saw in her eyes that peculiar world which was not yet revealed to her. "There are some that are not as difficult and dull as the rest."
"How can you be dull at a ball?"
"Why cannot I be dull at a ball?" asked Anna. Kitty saw that Anna knew the answer that would follow.
"Because you must always be the belle of the ball."
Anna had a capacity for blushing. She blushed and answered, "In the first place, I never am, but even if I were, what use would it be to me?"
"Will you go to that ball?"
asked Kitty. "I suppose I shall have to. Here, take this," she said, turning to Tanya, who was drawing off a ring which fitted loosely on her aunt's small tapering finger.
"I shall be very glad if you go. I should so like to see you at the ball."
"Well then, if I have to go, I shall console myself." I really hope my roommates can't hear me. "I shall console myself with the reflection that it will give you pleasure. Grisha, please, don't pull so hard. It is all in a tangle already," she said, arranging a loose lock of hair, with which Grisha was playing.
I imagine you at that ball in lilac.
Why must it be lilac? Asked Anna, half laughing. Now, children, run away, run away. Don't you hear? There's Miss Hull calling you to tea. She went on, disengaging herself from the children and dispatching them to the dining room. But I know why you're asking me to go to the ball. You're expecting much from it, and we'd like everybody to be there and have a share in it.
How do you know? Well, yes.
Oh, yes, it is good to be your age, Anna continued. I remember to know that blue mist, like the mist on the Swiss mountains, that mist which envelopes everything at that blissful time when childhood is just coming to an end, and its immense blissful circle turns into an ever-narrowing path, and you enter the defile gladly yet with dread, though it seems bright and beautiful. Who has not passed through it? Kitty smiled and remained silent.
How did she pass through it? How should I like to know her story?
Thought she, recollecting the unpoetic appearance of Anna's husband, Alexis Karenina. I know something. Steve had told me, and I congratulate you. I like him very much, Anna continued. I met Vronsky at the railway station.
Oh, was he there?
Asked Kitty, blushing.
What did Steva tell you?
Steva let it all out to me, and I shall be very pleased. I traveled yesterday with Vronsky's mother, she continued, and she talked about him all the time. He is her favorite son. I know how partial mothers are, but...
What did his mother tell you?
Oh, very much. And I know he is her favorite, but anyone can see he's full of chivalry. For instance, she told me that he wished to give all his property to his brother, that already as a boy he had done something extraordinary, saved a woman from drowning. In a word, he is a hero, said Anna, smiling and remembering the 200 rubles he had given away at the station. But she did not mention the 200 rubles. For some reason, she did not like to think of them. She felt that there had been something in it relating personally to her that should not have been. She particularly wished me to go and see her, continued Anna. I shall be glad to see the old lady again, and we'll go tomorrow. We'll thank heaven Steva is stopping a long time with Dolly, she added, changing the subject. And she rose, dissatisfied with something, Kitty thought. I was first! No, I! Cried the children, who, having finished the tea, rushed back to Aunt Anna. All together, said Anna, laughing and running to meet them, and putting her arms around them, she tumbled the whole heap of children, struggling and shrieking joyfully, onto the floor.